Hi, this is Judy O'Connor, the lifestyle coordinator at Overture Stone Oak in San Antonio. And this is our community manager, Xavier Neff, who's not only our community manager, but he's also an artist. And so today we're doing an activity that residents can see from their balconies, and a few residents are here on the patio with us. And he is chalking the block. The shadow you see is mine, and this is Xavier. So I'm going to ask him a few questions about how the process that he's using. So how did you get started on this project today?
I started with Pinterest.
My favorite.
Because Pinterest, I think, is such an inspiration sometimes, especially when you have to stick to a theme. As you can see, it's patriotic, so I have USA on the go here. I don't have red, so I opted for pink, which I think is okay.
It's the new red.
Yeah, it's the new red. So I just started looking on Pinterest to get some ideas, and I decided I wanted to do a 3D version. So what I did was I printed some graph paper here, and you can see the little dots. Maybe that'll show up, I'm not sure. But it helped me plot my letters in a 3D fashion so that I can transfer it onto the concrete here. And I did that using measuring tape, and I would dot every so I divided the length of the space to the increments that I needed to create the actual piece. So now, since I've connected the dots, basically, I've gone through and applied my first color, which is white, and then I'm going in with our red, our pink here, and then I'll finally finish with blue. And then to top it all off, I'm going to give it a coat of water, which a lot of people don't realize. If you do it strategically, it kind of blends the colors together and makes it look really solid, as though it was painted on instead of chalked on.
I'm going to go over and I'm going to show everybody how we also chalked our outside tables, which are made of cement. And I thought that was such a great hint that you had given me before, because I never knew I dipped my chalk. I actually got some of the swimming pool water and put it in a pail. But the colors were so much more vivid.
They're way more vivid, and this applies to chalkboards too. Those black chalkboards you have, you know how you put the chalk on there and it's kind of grainy and light? Well, if you just dip the chalk, just a quick dip in water, it goes on transparent. You almost can't tell, but once it dries, it comes through really thick and very vibrant, and the pigmentation is really strong.
Okay, so let me see your fingers for a second. Yeah, is that going to come off pretty easily?
I don't know, we'll find out.
All right, well, we're going to show this video, and I'll get some more pictures throughout the process, because I know we're anxious to see how it's going to end up. Thanks for doing this, and happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Memorial Day.
Okay, while Xavier continues his art project, and look how thick he's getting these colors in there. I'm real anxious to see how it's going to work at the very end when he puts water on it. But he's getting that on there very thick. We've got a beautiful sunny day here in San Antonio, which we hope continues, so that we don't lose this in the rain, but it looks like he's got a good process going. While Xavier is doing his project, residents took their turn at their art as well. We had a few residents come and stop by every once in a while, and while they did that, I had them write a little something on our cement tables. And this is great because I love how people signed their name and gave us a little bit of hope. Look at this beautiful flower from Sue, and look, it says hope. Then I'm going to come around here. Billy's always got something fun that she's doing, and she's got a cute little photo there as well. There's Billy. We may not see her all the time because of all the social distancing, but here she drew herself, and I love it. Melba said she wasn't an artist, but I don't believe that, because look at this great little drawing she gave to us. And then one of our favorite residents, Lucille, gave us a sign language "I love you." I'm going to ask her. She's watching Xavier right now. Lucille, tell me I love you. I love you back. And then over here, I'm Judy, and I'm definitely not an artist, but I love color, and I've gotten started on mine. I'm going to have people, just when they come down to the barbecue area, just give us your name. Oh, and Sandra, I love this so much. Look at this. Sandra, Forever Young. Sorry, that is not my phone. That is my shadow you're seeing. But look at this. There's Sandra, Forever Young, and she totally is. I don't want anybody to get by today without getting their name on here. So this is Marvin, our service supervisor, and look, he's adding his name to the board. Marvin Martin. And again, I dipped it in water first. What do you think, Marvin? Give us the Overture smile. His is one of my favorites.
Thank you, Miss Judy.
All right, so what are you doing now? I thought you had white there.
Well, it's called process, not perfection, for a reason. So I did have white, but I realized after laying out my colors that this inside shape here actually needs to be blue, which is completely fine because the white chalk is easily covered up by this pigmented blue here. So I'm just gonna go over it really quick, and then I'm gonna lay down the blue on the rest of the shapes here. And then after that, then we can apply our water.
All right, I'm just gonna watch a little bit while you continue with your blue.
Sure, you bet.
Yeah, I think a lot of us really like the chalk process and we love those chalkboard looks, but what this is really helping us with today, Xavier, is showing us how you do it. I'm kind of impressed that you're getting those dark colors and your chalk is not breaking every time. And I'm not saying that facetiously. Are you wetting the chalk before you use it now?
I'm not. I'm just trying to control the pressure as best I can. And these thin ones do tend to break really easily. So you just have to control it really well and not press down too hard. Because with this texture here, it's quite rough. So you don't need to press hard to get the chalk to lay down evenly. You just need to go over it a few times to fill all the cracks. It's not about pressure. It's just about several coats.
Now, are you purposely using a small piece of chalk?
Yeah, it's easier to hold on to. You can see this is the size they come in, like this. But I snap them in half, and then I use them in the half and the quarter size because I can use the smaller pieces, specifically with this actual design. It's easier to use sizes that fit the actual shape or color. So you see this yellow piece would be too big for this shape that I'm using. So if I were to hold it up like this to color in, it would snap in half anyway. So by pre-snapping it in half, I can actually use shapes that'll fit inside what I'm designing.
That's good information, thank you. And by the way, folks, this is Crayola chalk, and we all remember our Crayola colors, and they're decent products. And I got these boxes of 12 at Dollar Tree, so got enough for residents to come get some if they want to do their own balconies and what have you. And it's just a really fun thing that people are enjoying these days, is doing the chalk. I'm really enjoying watching Xavier and his process, and we were talking about how smooth the colors are coming out and this blue. So it looks like, are you going over the white to get it thicker now, Xavier? What are you doing now?
Yeah, so I'm just cutting in the edges on this S right here. I hadn't decided if I wanted it blue or pink or white yet, so I saved it just until now. And I decided it should be white. So I just cut in the white on this one here. And you can see after I lay down the color, I go in and I smudge it. And the smudging really helps get it down nice and smooth. Then once I do that, I need to get rid of this. And I don't want to wipe it because then it would wipe across my entire design.
Oh my, for sure.
So I need to give it a good breath of air. Like that. And that'll get rid of it pretty well. Luckily for us today, it's a little bit windy.
And sunny. It's been gorgeous.
And sunny.
So I caught Edie on her way down to watch the video, and she's writing her name for us.
Yeah.
I love that. Happy days,
Yes.
Edie. You've always got a smile on your face.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you for asking me.
Thanks for being part of the project.
Yeah, and thank you, Mr. Artist.
Amen. Okay, well, Xavier continues to get his blue onto his USA, and we have a couple of our residents who were enjoying looking from the balcony, and they came down to look at it closer. Of course, we're doing our 6 feet. We're doing a good job. This is Ruth. Ruth, have you ever seen anybody chalk a block like this?
Well, actually, I have. In California, Los Angeles, there was somebody doing it.
That's cool. That's cool. You're kind of an artist yourself. So while you're here, please feel free to pick up a 12 pack of chalk and do it in your apartment. But I want to be sure that you get your name on our cement table, okay? All right. And then, so Ruth and Linda were up in Linda's apartment and they've been looking. So Linda, hi, happy Memorial Day to you. What about you? Is this first time you've seen somebody do the chalk?
Very first time ever. And he did an excellent job. It looks beautiful from my balcony.
All right, I'm going to point up to your balcony, okay?
Okay. All the way to the top.
Whoa, she's on the 4th floor.
With the windows decorated.
Exactly. You've got your windows decorated and you've got your hummingbird feeder up there. Xavier is just about finished with his process, and this is where he's adding water on top of it just to seal it, but he's thinking that maybe he doesn't need to do that. So what he's going to do, and I'm going to get up close, is he's going to show us how he's going to put the water on top of it on a swatch. So tell us what you're doing, Xavier.
So come to find out, now there's 2 ways I've found when doing when chalking the block here. You can leave it kind of a spacey, grainy like this, and you don't have to go in and color in and smudge in all the missing pieces there, right? You can just do a rough draft, if you will, of your colors. But what I've done already is I've gone in and colored in every single spot and smudged in every single missing piece, so I won't have to go over this with the paintbrush. But if your style, if you like to go over this rough, if you want to do it kind of fast, you just get your brush wet and tap off the extra, and then you can brush this. Try and do as few strokes as possible, and you can see it takes the extra color and it paints in all the cracks, so you end up getting this cool kind of acrylic paint effect here, and you can see it as the concrete soaks it up. That grainy effect now looks like one equal coat, and it is very similar to this. So it just depends on what you want to do, how quick you want to do it, and if you have the manual dexterity to hang on to chalk long enough to grind it into the sidewalk.
Well, I think that's probably a very good point there, is just having the dexterity to keep it from breaking. So the point of it is to fill in the spaces and not so much to seal it.
No, it's mostly just to fill in all the spaces so it looks more pigmented, because then we're forecasted to rain, so this won't last much longer anyway. So.
We're gonna get some good pictures of it. So Ruth and Linda are still our 6 foot apart social distancing spectators, but I have to get a close up because, you know, look at this great patriotic mask that Ruth is wearing. And Linda's always cute, traditional. All right, so now ladies, I want you all to come over and I want you to sign the table. So Ruth and Linda have been watching this process of our chalk the block pretty much from the very beginning, and you can't watch this and not want to do it yourself. And so I see Ruth has some colors lined up. One of the things that I don't think you were here, Ruth, but a neat thing that he told us is if you use small chalk, you're going to have more control on it. So if you want to cut that in half, you can.
Oh, okay. Well,
you can get a darker line if you want to. And see, she's dipping it in the water, and what that does is it just gives you a darker, bolder color without all the white streaking in between. Now I'm going to pan on over to Linda, who I can tell is already making a flower.
well, thank goodness you can tell what it is.
I can. And be sure to put your name on it, okay, when you're done. Mm-hmm. So I can see that Xavier is finishing up his project, and like you said, even though he's used some he really went in and colored it as solidly as he could, he's just using some water to clean it up and to just make sure that everything's clean, and then where he sees maybe some white spots, he's coloring it in. All right, thanks, Xavier.
Thanks.
This is Val, one of our sales consultants, and she's do that again. All right.
At you.
That's the Overture smile. Tell me what you're writing, Val.
I am doing my name, and I thought watermelons would be great today because it's hot, and life is a slice. So let's draw it up. Chalk it up.
Chalk it up to experience, right?
Yes. Chalk it up. Come out here, and it is nice weather. It makes you want a watermelon.
That's
It
true.
really makes you want a watermelon.
All those folks who didn't think that they were artists really are, because we all have a creative spirit inside of us. We just need to find it. And sometimes it's with words. And this is Vanessa, our assistant manager at Overture Stone Oak. Tell me what you wrote.
Okay, so I wrote Live Life Happy, and I'm finishing up my smiley face because I want everyone to remember to stay happy and positive during this time of turmoil.
All right, well, show me the Overture smile. We've had a really fun morning watching our community manager, Xavier Neff, chalk the block, and we have some residents who are getting into the spirit of the whole thing. And this is Lynn, and I got to show you what she's putting. All right, so you're getting ready to celebrate your 25th wedding anniversary. What date?
On Wednesday, the 27th. So we're excited. We're going to have dinner. What else is there to do?
Alone in your apartment?
Yeah. And I will announce that Carol and Ren's 50th anniversary is Tuesday.
Absolutely. We've got some great
And
celebrations.
they're our good friends, and we hope to celebrate with them.
I think that's great.
Yeah. So we're excited.
Have a great week, and thank
very
you.
much.
So as we end our video, I want to introduce you again to Xavier Neff. He's the community manager at Overture Stone Oak and a wonderful artist. And as you look, we've got a few people behind us. They're definitely social distancing. They're wearing their masks and what have you. But they watched him from their balconies and what have you doing the chalk, and now they want to join in too. So it's absolutely beautiful. We're so proud of this. What else do you want to tell us, Xavier?
Well, if you plan on doing a project like this, I wholeheartedly recommend you spend at least 20 minutes planning your design, because then you're going to end up going back in and correcting mistakes. And today's kind of a hot day, so if I can go back and do it again, I would spend a little bit more time in my pre-planning. And also, that takes a lot more dexterity than I thought it would. That was exhausting. I'm not going to the gym later.
I thought when I was squatting down just taking the pictures, I was getting my workout, but this is totally beautiful. You should be proud, and we are all proud of the USA. Thank you for doing this.